Hi guys, it's Mrs. Longmire here. In our next series of lessons, we are going to focus on how readers can track one idea. Readers track one idea. Tracking, it's like, remember a couple of lessons ago when we looked at those footprints in the snow, and then we looked at the footprints by the pool, and you could see where your tracks were as you went along, and you could look back and see where you'd been. That's sort of making tracks. And when we're talking about how readers track one idea, we're talking about from the start all the way to till you finish it. So it would be the whole length of the book that we're going to look at and track. And we're going to talk about tracking one idea. Now, a couple of lessons ago, we talked about retelling, and we looked at lots of different story parts. Like we talked about retelling and talking about the characters. We talked about retelling the setting, the where and the when. We talked about there's always a problem, and that's called the plot, where something happens, and then we have the solution where the problem gets fixed. And we talked about retelling and retelling with all those parts. And today, when we talk about tracking is even after you retell. You want to retell first and retell all of the parts. But then when we talk about tracking, we're talking about zooming in, almost like we have X-ray glasses, and we're going to zoom into one idea. Okay, that one idea could be the setting. You could track the setting. It could be a character. It could be the problem or the solution, and you could be only looking for details about that one idea. So it's sort of like you have on X-ray glasses and you're zooming in. Well, today we're going to zoom in to characters, and we're going to look at how to track a character. So I'm going to cover up that one idea, and we're just going to look at how we can track a character. We're going to look at all the details about that character. We're going to collect as many details as we can as we track through the whole story. So we're going to look at a story or fiction, okay? And we're going to look at one facet, one idea, and that one idea is characters. And we're going to use the whole text, the beginning, the middle, and the end. We're going to track through the whole text to look for details about one character. Okay, and so a couple of lessons ago, when we were talking about retelling, we were talking about Pete the cat, remember? And we looked at all the characters in Pete the cat. We talked about there's Pete and Goldie and Pete's mom and Pete's friends. And then we looked at the setting, that it was in Pete's town and in his house and at his school. And we talked about his problem. He didn't have enough paint or time to make everyone a painting. That was his problem. And then it got solved because he made a huge painting so everyone in the whole town could see it. Okay, so that's how we retold it. So now today, if we were going to zoom in to just one character, we could do Pete, right? Pete the cat. He could be our character. Now, if we were going to zoom in to him, we can collect different types of details, okay? And the details that we're going to look at today are, what does Pete do? What does he actually do? And see how it has little marks around his arms, like what is he doing? And when you talk about do, it's actions. Is he, walking? Is he reading? Is he jumping? Is he, what is he doing in the story? Okay. And so we're going to put do on our chart, and notice that it is in green because these details we're collecting are reading voice details. They're the actual details that we're going to pull out of the story about what Pete is doing. And when we talk about what he's doing, it could be his actions. It also could be his reactions. Somebody could do something to him, and it's kind of how he responds. So it could be actions or reactions. But those are the types of details that we're going to collect when we're looking for Pete and what he's doing. Okay? And so I'm going to give you a tool to use. Like, how can you even track what a character is doing? And so I have it on my clipboard here, and it's sort of a tracking sheet. We're going to give you that tool, and I'm going to share it also on my screen, so that you can see it here. It's character tracking, and at the top you can write in the character's name. I wrote in Pete. Now, if you didn't have this tool and you didn't have a printer to print it out, you could just draw 3 big boxes for beginning, middle, and end. So this is what we're going to take our notes on. We're pulling out those reading voice details about what Pete is doing. Okay? And so, like we always do, I'm going to do it first, and you're going to watch me, and then you're going to get a chance to try this out. Okay? And so if we go back to the book on Epic, and we look here, we're going to go back through the story, but we're just going to look for details about what he is doing. Okay? So on the very first page, look, he's in a car and he's going somewhere. Remember, he's going to the pet store. He's going to get a pet. That's what he's doing. So I'm going to write that. I'm going to write going to pet store. That's what he is doing. He's going to the pet store. Okay, at the beginning, he's getting a pet, right? And remember, he gets a goldfish. I'm going to write gets a goldfish. So at the beginning, he's going to a pet store, and I could draw like a little pet store, and he gets a goldfish, and I could draw Goldie the goldfish, right? If I wanted to. So you could draw pictures, or you could write words, or you could do both. And let's flip through here and see what else he's doing. That his mom is doing something there, right? But he names her Goldie, right? He names her Goldie. Names pet fish Goldie. Okay, he gives her a name, and he tells her he's the first pet. What is he doing here? You can even just look at the picture. He is feeding his pet. So I'm going to write feeding pet. And I'm going to draw a little fish bowl and maybe a box of fish food. Okay? All right, so that's sort of the beginning. That's what he's doing at the beginning. And now we're going to sort of move to the middle section. Well, he's thinking about, he wants to do something with Goldie, remember? And he's saying, he's thinking, isn't he, about what he can do with her? Now what is he doing? And look at the picture. He's painting, isn't he? So in the middle, he starts to paint pictures of Goldie. Paint Goldie pictures. So I'm going to draw a painting and draw Goldie there and draw a little thing of paint and a paintbrush, right? He's painting pictures. And then look at the next page. He's giving the picture to his mom. So he starts to give away the pictures, doesn't he? If we flip through here, remember, and Bob wants one, and then everybody starts to want pictures. And so I'm going to say he gives pictures away. And so I'll just draw lots of different pictures, because everybody started to want pictures of Goldie, right? So this is what he's doing. He's giving the pictures away. Yeah. And he takes it into show and tell, doesn't he? Takes it into school. So I'll write show and tell, and I'll draw another picture of Goldie that he takes to show and tell to show his class. Okay, and remember, everybody wants one. And then he has so much to do. Look, remember, he has to feed Goldie, he has to do homework, and he just has so much to do that he doesn't have time, right? So I'm going to write homework. Looks like he's got math there. math homework, so I'll draw some numbers on the paper. He's got homework. He's got to feed Goldie. And we already kind of have feeding Goldie, but he's got all those things to do, right? And he doesn't really have the time to paint all the pictures that he needs to paint, right? So in the middle, I have him painting pictures, giving pictures away, taking his picture to show and tell, and doing his homework. Okay, so then what does he do at the end of the story? If we keep flipping through here, everybody got pictures, right? But then he really wants to paint pictures for everyone, doesn't he? But he just doesn't have the time, so he's trying to think of what to do. And remember, his mom has that big idea, and I'm going to draw the ladder that he uses to paint this huge picture. So there's Pete painting this huge picture, and then, so he paints, I'm going to write paints huge pic, sure, because that was his mom's idea, but I'm only looking for things that Pete does, right? So, and then they drive around with it on the car, right? So if I draw the car and I draw the big picture of Goldie on the car, and then I have them driving around. So put picture on car so everyone can see. Okay, so I just tracked details all about Pete. I didn't track details about what Pete's mom was doing or what Pete's friends were doing or what Pete's grandma was doing. I was only tracking Pete, and I was only tracking what he's doing. Okay, he's going to the pet store. He gets a goldfish. He names the goldfish Goldie. He feeds Goldie. Then in the middle, he paints pictures, lots of pictures. He gives the pictures away to people. He takes his picture to show and tell. He does his homework. Those are the things he was doing in the middle of the story. And then at the end of the story, he was painting a huge picture. He even got on a ladder to do that. And he put his picture on the car, and they drove around town so that everyone could see. So he put the picture on the car. So I think you guys can try this. And I'm going to have you try it. And remember, in one of the other stories that we did was Little Red Hen. Remember that one? And we tracked, well, we didn't track, but when we retold, we talked about all the characters, Little Red Hen, and it had the crocodile and the fox and the hedgehog. We talked about the setting was Little Red Hen's house and the cupcake truck. We talked about how the problem was no one would help Little Red Hen make the cupcakes or get any of the things that she needed. They were too busy. And at the end, they did not get a cupcake, remember? And we thought that they learned a lesson from because they didn't help Little Red Hen. And so if I have Little Red Hen pulled up. So if we tracked only one character, so let's track Red Hen, Little Red Hen. So I put her name at the top, Little Red Hen. And we're going to track what she's doing at the beginning and in the middle and at the end. We're only going to look at Little Red, and we're only going to look at what she's doing, not what she's saying or any of those other details, just what she's doing. Remember, her actions or her reactions. So let's look through here. Let's look at the very first page here and think about what she's doing. I'll let you guys think about that for a second. What is she doing? It looks like she's cooking. Did you say she's cooking? Do you see the pot on the stove? Yeah, she's cooking. It's all right, cooking. And I'll draw like a cooking pot. She's got a pot with steam coming out. She's cooking, right? And then what is she doing over here? She's shopping, isn't she? She had to go to the store, didn't she? So she's shopping. So I'm going to write the word shopping, and I'll even draw like a little shopping cart. Okay, did you say shopping? Great job. Let's turn the page and see what she's doing. You can look at both pages here. Looks like she's looking for something, isn't she? Or she forgot butter. Is that what you said? So she had to go get butter. So I'm going to say get butter. She had to get butter, and I'll just draw like a rectangle stick of butter from the store. She had to go to the butter barn to get the butter, didn't she? So she's getting butter. Okay, so now we're going to kind of move to the middle of the story. So at the beginning, she's cooking, she's shopping, she's getting butter. Now, oh, she forgot. She keeps forgetting, doesn't she? Remember? What does she have to do now? She has to go up all those stairs to get sugar. Remember, she forgot sugar? So she has to get sugar. She had to go upstairs. So I'm going to draw some stairs. And I'll draw an arrow. She had to go get sugar upstairs. Great job. Now let's look and see what Little Red's doing on this page. She forgot the sprinkles, didn't she? Is that what you said? She had to go get sprinkles. I'm going to write get sprinkles. She had to go to the sprinkle shop. So I'll draw like a little container of sprinkles. She had to get sprinkles at Sprinkles and Sparkles, didn't she? Okay. What about on this page? She's carrying the cupcakes, isn't she? She had to carry them all by herself. No one would help her. So I'm going to write carry cupcakes. And they're sort of in containers, aren't they? She had a lot of cupcakes to carry, didn't she? So I'll draw her hands here. She had to carry cupcakes. Okay. And then at the end, let's see, the end of the story, what is she doing? Yeah, she's selling cupcakes, isn't she? She's selling them in her truck. Selling cupcakes, and she's got them kind of in her little cupcake truck. So I'll draw her cupcake truck there with a big window. She's selling cupcakes. Good. And she didn't give them one, did she? She's saying it says sold out. I'm going to write sold out. Great job. You just tracked Little Red Hen, what she does in the whole and through the whole book. You did such a good job. We were only looking for at Little Red Hen, not the other characters, right? And we were only looking at what she was doing. What she was doing. So we talked about she was cooking and shopping and getting butter at the beginning. And then she was getting sugar and getting sprinkles and carrying cupcakes in the middle. And at the end, she was selling cupcakes and she was sold out. She didn't have any left. And there she is in her cupcake truck. Great job. That's what good readers do. They can track and only look, almost have x-ray vision looking at one idea. We're looking at one character, and we're only today looking at what that character was doing in the story. Now, if you were in Mrs. Longmire's class, I would have you try this again and practice this. I would have you do the next book that we looked at when we retold, and that was The Three Bears. Remember the Three Bears book on Epic? And we looked through it and we talked about the characters. We had Baby Bear, Mama Bear, and Papa Bear, and Goldilocks, right? We talked about the setting was the morning, and it took place in a cottage in the woods. And we talked about the problem was Goldilocks was sleeping in Baby Bear's bed, and Baby Bear's chair was broken, and Baby Bear's porridge was all gone. So there were a couple of different problems in the story. And then the solution is Goldilocks ran away and she never came back. Okay, so let's have you track Goldilocks and think about what Goldilocks is doing in the story. So you can either print out the PDF, the document there, like I had. If you have a printer and you want to print it out and you want to just draw pictures or just write a few words about what she's doing at the beginning and in the middle of the story and at the end of the story. Or if you don't have a printer but you have some paper, you could just draw 3 lines or 3 big boxes and do beginning, middle, and end, and think about what Goldilocks is doing at the beginning and in the middle and at the end. Only look for details about what she's doing. Okay, that's what I would have you do if you were in Mrs. Longmire's class, but your teacher might have an even better idea.